I have a lot of great things to talk about today. Well, actually, this will be more of a Joe Biden roast as usual, because we usually aim at the powerful here on this channel. But you guys see the title of this video. Liberals are only immigration activists when a Republican is in charge. Only when a Republican is in charge do liberals pretend to care about black lives, brown lives, immigration. They could care less about state violence when we have a Democrat as president. And we have seen images that come from the border control that shows how they are treating the Haitian immigrants, whipping them and cracking the whip like they were slaves. It's a very nostalgic picture, and I don't mean that in a good way. So we're going to break that down, and I'm going to cover all the ways that Joe Biden has been awful on immigration and black lives this stream. But before we get started, I'm going to tweet everything out. When you guys are in the stream, say what's up. I'll just put my links out there so we can get some viewers. Because I haven't tweeted it out yet. And we got a lot of cool things to check out. We can go through some links, talk. I love this channel because this channel it's really chill where I can talk about these stories. So I'm going to tweet the link out and then we can dive right into it. So, I have been warning people about how you have people of color, you have brown skin, you have black skin people who was sold out by the police state, by the prison industrial complex, by the military industrial complex. And immigration has only gotten worse under Joe Biden. A lot of people don't know that Donald Trump actually deported less people in his first term than Barack Obama did when he was president. And there's no doubt in my mind, we will see in a few years, but there's no doubt in my mind that I think Joe Biden probably might deport more people than Donald Trump. And Democrats are able to get away with this state violence because liberals, they don't care about challenging their team, they don't care about challenging power. They only care about their team winning. So when a Republican is in charge, they can pretend to care about brown lives to attack the Republican administration. But once the Democrat is in charge, they will do everything they can to defend their cult leader, because the Democratic Party, they 100% learned from the Trump years, right? And we've seen this a lot with both parties over the course of my lifetime, but even more so after the Donald Trump administration, where you always stand on your team's side. You never abandon your boy. So there's so many liberals that was extremely distressed over Donald Trump's treatment of immigrants, but they're now silent when Joe Biden is ramping things up and making it worse. So let's open this up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is my response to the immigration story. We see this is the pictures. You see these are the Border Patrol agents. They got whips on horseback, cracking the whip against the immigrants, the Haitian immigrants. Now this photo, it has been going around Twitter, and there are a lot of people that are starting to wake up that the idea that Joe Biden was the lesser of two evils, that was nonsense. I even seen some black nationalists on Twitter that I always butt head with, and I always strongly disagree with these people, because these people are anti-immigrant. Straight up, they are black nationalists. They think we should only care about the black community, and they miss the fact that black people are immigrants, that Haitian immigrants are treated horrifically by our system. We got Didi's in the house. How you doing, Didi? Yeah, Roxanne said these images speak volumes. Nothing good. How Didi's doing tonight? I started a little bit late because I saw Fred Hampton Leftist was streaming. Jackie, RJ, and Meg did a great breakdown. Apparently, Roe v. Wade is going to be challenged, so just another failure of the Democratic Party, right? No need the National Guard to protect the border. Oh yeah, I talked to Yao about immigration last time. Even if you are for immigration, I don't know how anyone would be for this. This is an insane crime against humanity that we're seeing here. I'm gonna see if I can get my comments to pull up here. All right, there we go. There are the comments. Didi is in the house. So I don't know how anyone, even if you are for immigration reform, is for this nonsense, because this is a country that put sanctions on other countries for violating human rights. But here they are, looking like the old school slave patrols. And when you have someone like Joe Biden, who constantly shows you who he is and his disdain that he has for Haitian immigrants, you believe him, because I would never let people live this down, because last year I was one of the few like really big I would say pro Bernie accounts, because people knew me as someone who quit my job and I eventually canvassed for Bernie Sanders. So I was known as like a pro Bernie account. I was one of the few like big ones that was like, there's no way, there's quite literally no way you're gonna convince me to vote for Jim Crow Joe, because Jim Crow Joe is one of the most anti-black politicians in the modern era. And if you look at his Haitian immigration policy, it's clear that he has nothing but disdain for the Haitian people. Quaker Socialists in the house. How you guys doing? We just now getting started. I'm talking about Biden's immigration record, and liberals are only immigration activists when the Republicans in charge. I don't have any Gatorade, Didi. I don't even got my water next to me. I did not realize that. It's hard to talk for an hour without getting thirsty, but I think I can hold on for as long as I can. Derek said Dems kind of care about winning for their team as long as it doesn't fuck with the status quo. They just care about being seen as the alternative to keep everyone in check. Single payer, legal pot wins. Pretty good comment by Derek. Democrats don't really care if they win or lose, for the most part. When you have high profile races, when you have people that are entrenched within the Democratic Party, for example, like Beto, he's running for governor again. And I think it's hilarious how you have a lot of liberals who really believe that Beto can win the governor's race in Texas after telling people that he's going to take their guns. Early polls always show that he's down. Early polls always show he's down, which is pretty predictable, because you're not going to win a nationwide race in Texas. Like, liberals think that Austin is representative of all Texas, but even Austin wouldn't play that I'm going to take your gun nonsense, right? So I think he's down like 8 points right now, but not as bad as I thought, to be honest. But Claire McCaskill, Beto O'Rourke, all these people losing is not end of the day for them. And the reason why I say that, because they always in a position where they can get a corporate lobbyist position. They can get a spot on MSNBC or CNN. It's the revolving door. So whether they win or whether they lose, they will be taken care of regardless. Claire McCaskill in Missouri ran probably the worst race I ever seen. Probably the worst race. She attacked Josh Hawley. Did he stop? I'm not going to comment on that. Beto is a dork. But I know Didi has a little crush on him. Oh, you probably want me to ignore you, because when I read your comments, Didi has a crush on Beto. I don't get it, but we love Diddy for that. You know I'm not gonna read that comment, so you can't complain if I ignore you if you leaving comments like that. But as I was saying, Claire McCaskill ran the worst race ever. She ran to Josh Hawley's right on immigration. She told Missourians that Josh Hawley is not the person you want to elect if you actually want to build the wall. Claire McCaskill is a pro-wall Democrat. Then she lost it. She got an MSNBC position. She got she's well taken care of at the Democratic Party. So it doesn't matter if you win or if you lose, as long as you serve your corporate donors, you play your role. Because there are some Democrats that are allowed to be good guys, and then there are other Democrats that, like Kristen Sinema, Joe Manchin, they are the rotating villains. So if Kristen Sinema, if she does her job, she's gonna be taken care of. She's gonna get a corporate lobby position. Hell, they might even invite her on CNN Business or something. You never know. So there's no losing. So let's dive into this video, because as I was saying, I would never been caught dead voting for Joe Biden, because I knew of his extremely anti-black record and what he has done in Haiti. The Democrat Party has stole insane amount of aid that was going to Haiti during their national crisis, and this is Biden in 1994. Look at Joe Biden here. So let's see that again. So, like I said, Joe Biden has shown a long history of hatred and disdain towards Haitian people, and it's shown in his immigration policies. Once a racist show you who he is, believe him. So let's actually dive into the story and see what's going on with the Haitian immigrants here. Then I get to some of the comments after this. A mounted U.S. Border Patrol agent shouted commands in a tense encounter with Haitian migrants waiting through Rio Grande near Del Rio, Texas. So they were pretty much shouting, telling them to get back to Mexico, and the agent swung his whip. So they was swinging the whip at the black migrants. And the images that we were getting out of these is extremely fucked up, right? Look at that. This is something you could have taken this picture other than the modern clothing. This picture could have came straight out like 1850, 1840, right? But nothing changed. This is the extension of the border, the slave patrols that they used to have. Our prison industrial complex, our immigration justice system is based on white supremacy. It's based on upholding racial hierarchies. If you don't believe me, when have you ever seen an image like this in the northern border with Canada? You have Joe Biden that is lying, just like Donald Trump, when he's trying to pretend that seeking asylum is illegal. It's not. Asylum seeking is 100% legal, especially considering the fact that the United States has supported military dictatorships in Haiti and responsible for the destabilization of that country in the first place. But just like Trump, Joe Biden is making a claim that seeking asylum is not a legal process, which it is. I'll cover this on my show. Biden railed against Trump's immigration policies, now defend them in the courts. So when he ran during the campaign, he was pretending that Donald Trump immigration policies and plans was the worst thing ever. Here, let me show you guys this. Let me find it. I think I retweeted it just to show you guys the blatant hypocrisy of Joe Biden. I think I retweeted it. Yeah, here it is. From Human Rights Watcher, it points out how Joe Biden is a massive hypocrite. Donald Trump's remain in Mexico policy is dangerous. Now, he sent this March 11th, 2020. Donald Trump's remain in Mexico policy is dangerous, inhumane, and goes against everything we stand for as a nation of immigrants. My administration will end it. Where are the progressives who went to back for Joe Biden? Why aren't they doing anything to hold him accountable for this? They campaigned for Joe Biden, and now they are allowing him to run a far right administration with no real challenge to that. The way that Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin is taking the Biden agenda is exactly what we should be seeing out progressives in response to Joe Biden's inhumane immigration policies, his foreign policy, and just straight up broken promises. Because, like I said, 18 months later, this is coming from the Biden DHS for Homeland Security. If you come to the United States illegally, you will be removed. Please do not attempt the perilous journey. And this is not illegal, by the way. Seeking asylum is a legal process that under both Democrat and Republican president, they have been denying. Yeah, Didi, you didn't know where I'm reading those comments. But it's funny. It's funny. QKR said, it kills me, honestly, what these photos show. My family and close friends have escaped political and culture active danger from their country, and some pay coyotes to come up through the southern border. Anyone who has a conscience should be shook into their core seeing those photos. And a lot of people are, but it's very disgusting that you will have. Listen, I think most people that see that stuff will be turned off, but there's still liberals that strongly support the Democratic Party. You have people that are still going to tell black and brown people after seeing these photos, they're going to be telling them, you got to vote blue no matter who in 2020. Vote blue no matter who is the biggest political con job in modern electoral politics. And the progressives that helped sell that, they sold black people out to the police state. They sold our Latino and black brothers and sisters to ICE and the Department of Homeland Security. They sold out our Muslim brothers and sisters to the military-industrial complex. This is why I told you guys that Joe Biden is only the lesser of two evils for privileged white people, and that has been consistent. I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah, you even had the ACLU that would chiming in on the way America was treating. Oh no, sorry Nolly, I'm streaming on this YouTube channel for my night shows. I think I'll be on tomorrow. I think we doing a international leftist panel, but I think we might be on Kareem's YouTube channel tomorrow. So this is from the ACLU condemning Biden. I need to adjust that. I think that's kind of hard to read for you guys, isn't it? I need to make that more clear for you guys to read. But this from the ACLU. It is inexcusable for the president, for the United States to greet Haitians with threats, punishment, and immediate expulsions rather with dignity, compassion, and a fair chance to make their claims, especially at this time of political turmoil and national disaster. And they continue, with this massive expulsion push, the Biden administration is writing its own chapter in the United States' shameful history of racial discrimination towards Haitian and other black immigrants. So all the white leftists, all the white progressives who was telling and yelling at me to vote for Joe Biden and to support the Democratic Party, hope you guys are 100% happy with the fact that you guys sold out our black immigrant brothers and sisters, our Latino brothers and sisters out to this violent police state. I don't know how you guys sleep at night. I honestly don't know how people who voted for this guy sleep at night. Hey Ramsey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I like to call this the Nick at Night series. Eric Thomas said our southern border policy is depraved. Yep. I don't know how anyone can consider himself a centrist or moderate in this extremely right-wing state that is responsible for so many crimes against humanity. If you're moderate in this country, what does that say about you? What does that say about you? Quaker Socialist says France and all major banks owe Haiti for freaking freedom. Hey, the Haitians got, and I think my boy, there was a great thread on this. I'm gonna show you guys because they put it really well here. Where is it? I was retweeting a lot of stuff about this. Hopefully I retweeted it. I thought I did. Damn. Well, let's see if I can find it. It was a great thread. Here. So I'm gonna go on his. I'm gonna go directly to his page. Hopefully I can find it. I thought I retweeted. I guess I didn't. I must have just liked it. Oh, here it is. So this kind of talk about the U.S. crimes in Haiti from Brother Q. Always have great tweets. Make sure you check them out. It was the United States that led a multinational coalition to kidnap Jean Beltran and then replaced him with U.S. trained military dictator. It was U.S. corporations that soaked up the international aid money. This is what Quaker was talking about. It was U.S. corporations that soaked up the international aid money meant for Haitians after the 2010 earthquake. He continues. Once again, this is a great Twitter profile. I tweet a lot of great historical context to leftist ideas. It was the United States that tried to block the Haitian minimum wage from rising to 61 cents a day from 21 cents a day. That's crazy. The United States is the biggest evil. We are the biggest threat to world peace. When you look at the countries who wanted to lift the Cuban blockade, the United States and Israel are the only countries that routinely vote against that. It was the United States that propped up a puppet fascist who replaced himself with another corporate fascist, Jovenel Moise. Jovenel Moise is the one who got killed. But he was extremely corrupt. He can rot in piss as far as I'm concerned. It was the United States that occupied Haiti for 20 years, helping foreign firms plunder its natural resources while conducting ethnic cleansing campaigns and eliminating political resistance, and then left the country in the hands of stormtroopers. So what he's laying out here is just talking about the destabilization of Haiti that we are complicit with. Oh wait, let me fix that. There we go. George's Pirate said Haiti is the truest origin story of freedom and liberation, but ever since her independence from French, Europe and the U.S. Empire have fought to destroy the first free black state in the New World. This is why this is such an important story, especially in terms of black liberation politics, because my black brothers and sisters that are neighbors with me in the United States, and my black brothers and sisters who are outside the United States. These are the people I fight for. These are the people I stand for. The idea that Americans don't care about what happens to people outside their borders, I find to be unforgivable. And as someone who benefits 100% from U.S. imperialism. We all do if you live in this country. If you benefit from U.S. imperialism, it is our duty to wholeheartedly resist the United States empire. We shouldn't be voting for the war criminals. We shouldn't be propping them up. Our only goal is to resist, spread awareness, and fight these politicians and make their life hell. That should be our goal. It is our duty to the Haitian people, to the Middle East, to the global South, that is destroyed by the United States empire, to be the resistance on the ground here. That's why my friend Didi, you guys see her in the YouTube chat. She leave funny comments, but she is 100% on point when it comes to foreign policy. Where Didi says, as Americans, our number one focus should be on foreign policy because we are the biggest evil. We have killed and tortured folks, and we are complicit with that. All right, Quaker, I post his. Well, let me see if I can find it. I think did I close it? I'll post his. Yeah, I think I'll close the window. Let's see if I can find him so I can share his Twitter. He's pretty big account, but he's one of those really quality big accounts that deserve it, right? Here it is. Here, I'll post his Twitter in the comments. On the YouTube side, that is, at least. Yeah, Nolly said Didi's a sweetheart. See, as soon as I start talking about Didi, she's not even here anymore. But I learned a lot about foreign policy from my friend. Oh, there she is. Didi said the U.S. is currently heart of the empire, and thence when it comes to U.S. alone, foreign policy should supersede domestic. That's why I focus on foreign policy, because I benefit. We all benefit from U.S. imperialism, and it's our job to fight that. My top priorities is the liberation of my people, Black Americans, because if you uplift Black Americans, you uplift the entirety of the poor and struggling working class. Pro-Black policies will help everyone out, right? So I stand in solidarity with my community and trying to uplift the Black community, and I stand in solidarity with the victims of U.S. imperialism. Because that's all I can do, right? As someone who benefits from the U.S. empire. Now, back to the story here. I got one more thing I want to share with you guys, because as a abolitionist, and as someone who, I don't know, like, I don't have a big channel. I don't get anywhere near the views of a lot of other people. But I don't think there's anyone else in leftist media that covered the crimes of ICE, the United States immigration crimes, the crimes of our fascist police state and military industrial complex more than I have. I don't think it's. I wrote an op-ed in favor of defunding and abolishing the police, where I laid out comprehensively how our police system is a white supremacist system, and I explained how there was never a point where American policing did what, like, liberal police state defenders and advocates claim they do. There was never a point, because we started out as slave patrols, and now we're seeing the immigration justice system follow that same route and direction. This is a great tweet by Leslie Mack talking about the slave patrols. This is very similar to what we've seen with Haitian immigrants. So let's look at this first, and we can make the connection. The 1850 Slave Patrol versus the 2015 law enforcement. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 established precedent of law enforcement officials' requirement to arrest suspected runaway slaves, setting up an institutional focus on black and brown bodies. So this is a great image here that kind of explains the concept of racist law enforcement. it's like before and after, right? So the tactics of the slave patrols are the tactics of the police now. The monitor, like our community being monitored, um, it's the same as our community being searched, our vehicles being searched. This is the broken windows policing. That's what they're explaining right here, and I wrote about that. Broken windows policing, where they target our communities because they were like, oh, if you make sure a community don't have a broken window, you can help reduce other crimes. So they go after and charge us with regressive fines and fees. They pull us over more. They search us more. This is why we are victims of prison asset forfeiture, for example. And then they also have the impromptu punishments. So soon as you had the official that finds the person of color or the suspected person of interest, it's an immediate punishment there without a jury of your peers, without any judicial system looking at it, and that leads to the modern police state that we have, the extrajudicial killings of black men and women, where the cops put it upon themselves to put down someone they're arresting. And there have been videos shown of where you have white people resist arrest, and they go through every single protocol possible before inflicting harm on that person. I've shown videos of them wrestling, pleading with white defendants to follow the law. Meanwhile, any resistance shown or any lack of compliance from black people is immediately met with extreme violent force, right? And that's kind of what this meme is talking about here. And I brought this up because Leslie said you gotta ask yourself why a whip will be the standard issue equipment for the Border Patrol officers. The anti-blackness in America is insane. It's astounding. Because I mentioned before, you don't see this happen on the northern border. It's only the southern border to black and brown people. But I think that's good. I think we covered that a lot, right? Let's go to some of the comments. What did I miss, Gene? You talking about some people who was hating on Haitian people. I don't really understand that. I appreciate the great comments from my friend Dee. Nick has come so far in terms of foreign policy. Y'all having conversations with people from the gray zone, like long, extensive foreign policy conversations with PhDs. So those are my favorite conversations to have. Tomorrow, I think we're going to be on Kareem Batessa's channel, and we're going to talk about the psychology of colonialism. So these things are not like super sexy topics, but I'm a nerd, so I like talking about foreign policy. Quaker says, Nick has impacted me so much just on his own. I appreciate that. Truly impactful, and then the whole FHO network. I really hope Nick and the team realize their impact. All my recent activism is based on FHO hope. Much solidarity and a lot of love to my friend, Quaker Socialist. I think you met Savvy on the Medicare for All marches. I can't wait to meet all of you wonderful activists and continue to fight with you guys, because Quaker has a lot to offer this movement. Really cool to see. Roxanne said, Nick, you have been great on the Jimmy Dore show, but your chats with Max Blumenthal are my faves. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before I invite Max on. I had Max on 2 times on Friday Night the Leftist. I don't want to blow up his inbox, right? But it's been about time, right, that I have him back on, especially with what's going on with Israel still bombing Gaza. It's insane. And that gets no coverage from progressives. Like, no one cares about that. Yeah, Ramsey said Nick was on 2 times with Jimmy Dore. Yeah, you guys know how weird it is to see me on Jimmy Dore. I used to watch Jimmy Dore a lot, so to be on his show is it's extremely trippy to see that. And I was hoping I did a good job. I think a lot of people like my appearances because the Jimmy Dore show is actually a very tricky. Did he stop? Did he stop? Did I say Matt? I meant to say Max. But the Jimmy Dore show actually a very weird format to get used to because when you're on Jimmy's show, uh, it's not like just a normal conversation, and that's why Jimmy eventually invited me on because I had great conversations with Jimmy on Fred Hampton Leftist 2 times, especially the one-on-one I had with him recently was an amazing conversation. So Jimmy invited me on his show, and it's not exactly the same thing because Jimmy, you guys know his format. He covers a story, and he covers it extensively. Then he tosses it right to you, and the challenge is because Jimmy is so good at covering the stories. I was trying to figure out what to say that Jimmy didn't cover. You know what I mean? I didn't want to have like Jimmy present a story and then I just repeat the same exact thing that Jimmy said. I don't think that would be interesting for me as a guest, right? So my goal was to hear what Jimmy is talking about, watch him perform the story, and I wanted to have a different take. Well, not a different take, but a different angle in which I approach the story. So hopefully it went well. Hopefully it went well. I'm saying the format is tricky. It's a very very fun show to do. I think I was much more comfortable with the second time, but it's definitely different than what I'm used to. But hopefully I'll be back on again. It's super weird when I have like Jimmy will like text me stories. Super trippy, man. Love that dude. Big prop. Big props to Jimmy Dore for actually platforming black leftists and trying to prop up smaller independent media channels. As you guys see, I still got a lot of work to do on this channel to get up there. Hopefully you guys enjoying the stream. If you guys are, support the Patreon, patreon.com, Socialist MMA. Thank you for Adrian Forrest. Big shout out to you for the new subscription on YouTube. Hopefully you guys enjoying the stream. How the stream tonight? And hopefully you guys enjoying the stream. Cash App, Social Sunday, Venmo if you want to support my journalism. But let's see what other comments I have in here. Cracks me up for Nick to call you Didi because... Oh, yeah. Quaker was talking about how Didi, that name is like... it means like elder sister in Hindi. And I was talking to Didi about that before because Didi has like a strong... like motherly instinct, so that name fits her like perfectly. A lot of people see Didi like silly side on Twitter in the comments, but she does a lot of work supporting comrades behind the scenes, and she always propping up her friends, right? So I always appreciate that out of her, right? And that's a well-deserved name. Thank you guys for the good comments regarding my Jimmy Dore appearance. Like I remember, like I'm always super nervous because like Jimmy gets as many views on like one video. Like one video from Jimmy Dore will have more views than Fred Hampton Leftist will have all month. The video where we was talking about, the video where we called out Ken Klimpenstein for doxing an independent journalist. The video where we called out AOC for her performative gala stunt. And the ACLU, those videos alone, like each one individually, had more views than what Fred Hampton Leftists get an entire month. So it was pretty nerve wracking. That's like, man, there's a lot of people watching me right now. Yeah, Keenan says, that's such a good point. Jimmy brings on and goes on many shows, but Cal brings on Vosh and Hassan to circle jerk. Yeah, these people, like the old guard love, like the Cows, Kowinski's, the Humans Report, the TYTs, they don't care about building like less solidarity. They just care about their numbers. They just care about clicks. And the only reason why they invite Vosh and Hassan on because they know Vosh and Hassan can bring them clicks. They don't actually care about talking about ideas with people with different perspectives than them because the only views you're getting from Cal and Crystal and friends are the views of the bourgeoisie class. All these people that you see on the show are really wealthy. A lot of times white. Like, I don't see people of color on their show. It's all white people that are wealthy, and you only get one perspective because of that. So no matter what you say about Jimmy, at least Jimmy is willing to platform black leftists and have a lot of different variety of voices on, right? Go on other people's show. But with Cal and that crowd, it's all about building their brand. Building their brand. And they invite Vosh and Hassan on because they want Vosh and Hassan's fans. They don't want to hear from my perspective because I don't got a giant fan base. I don't have live views. We got 20 people watching on YouTube right now. So that's the difference between the new left and the old left, right? That's a good comment by Judas. Thank you for bringing that up. Judas Andrade said, Nick, you should address the fact that they call the Haitians at the border migrants rather than refugees. And there's a big difference. There is. Great comment. Thank you for highlighting that. Because I said when I was covering the story, the Biden administration is repeating the same lie that Trump did, that you can't legally seek asylum. They said it's illegal. Immigration is not illegal. Seeking asylum is 100% illegal. So what Joe Biden is doing is illegal state violence, just like Trump. Just like Trump. But that's why I love the comments that we get, because always really well informed comments. Like you see the comments out from Andrade. So I'm gonna tweet this next segment because I think we got a few more stories I'm gonna get into before I wrap up. Come on. My computer always that funny while I'm streaming. One second, let me tweet this segment out. Actually, I'm gonna just tell people that we all benefit from U.S. empire, so we should resist U.S. imperialism, something like that. I focus on foreign policy because we all benefit from the crimes of the U.S. empire. Our number one priority should be resisting the evils of our state. I think that's it's a simple tweet. Just get the stream out here. If you guys are enjoying, please share the stream, because Fred had the leftists are taking off, but my personal channel, I'm still trying to grow that. I want to get to 4,000 subscribers, hopefully. I think end of November is pretty reasonable, right? Now they say you have the best fan base. Yeah, I tell you, when I read the chats, it's ton of really informative comments, like the last comment that we got from Judas. So let's see how long. I think we got time for another story. Someone on Twitter, so Nidu said, asked me if Jimmy will be doing the General Strike Summit. I know he's spoken on General Strikes in the past. As the General Strike Summit get closer, we're going to start booking guests, and I'm definitely going to reach out to Jimmy, because we are streaming pretty much the whole day when we do the General Strike Summit. So I want to have as many speakers on as possible, like even at like 30 minutes at a time. I would love that. I would love to have Jimmy on and many other different people who are enthusiastic about General Strike and bounce ideas off of them, right? I want to have union leaders. I want to have people who are really knowledgeable about this. Yeah, Ramsey. Yeah, I'm on Twitch too. I stream on Twitch and YouTube. It doesn't really matter which one you support, because both YouTube and Twitch rip me off in terms of views and monetization. I monetize on both, but YouTube and Twitch rips me off bad. So that's why you watch on YouTube, watch on Twitch don't really matter to me. Just support the Patreon if you guys are enjoying this, right? I know Yao and then was having some debate. Yao and Zanito, they were having some debates on Twitch, which is good. It's good to have the conversations. Good to have the conversations. Okay, let's see. So I guess we still Man, I'm not gonna get through all these stories today. The good news is I don't be on the channel much more often because I still got a lot of stories I got to cover. I don't have time for all these. I was gonna end up talking to you guys too much. But let's do this story here. It's going to be very interesting to see how Democrats, especially progressives, like the progressives I used to look up to, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Bernie Sanders, Rashida Tlaib, Jamal Bowman. It's going to be very interesting to hear what they say next year in terms of trying to get voters to support their party. We all know the electoral trick where Democrats run on a pretty decent agenda. Like, I didn't give it any props because I knew he wasn't going to do it, but if you look at the Biden agenda, it wasn't terrible. Wasn't great, but wasn't terrible. But the reason why I was telling people I wasn't going to vote for Joe Biden because Joe Biden is a serial liar, and you got to be delusional to think that a politician who is trying to earn your votes is going to follow through on all their election promises. People that were quoting Joe Biden's campaign platform as a reason to vote for them are probably one of the most dishonest people in politics. Because a lot of these people, they see election cycles. They know how this thing goes. They know Joe Biden was lying to people for votes. But the people that was advocating vote for him, like the David Doe's, the Vosh's, the Humanist Reports, they was misleading their audience and lying to them and trying to sell the idea that they will have a progressive agenda. You'll be fighting white supremacy by voting for Joe Biden. We all knew that was a lie. So now that he's not accomplishing anything, in fact, he's making things worse. In 2022, they are going to run exclusively on, hey, vote for us again, and I promise you we do the things that we promised we was going to do this time. And it's going to be very hilarious to watch them make that excuse because their excuse for not actually getting things done this time around is the Senate parliamentarian. This unelected government official that no one has heard of. No one has heard of this position until the Biden administration, until the Democratic Party needed them to. And it's hilarious how dumb the Democratic Party believe their supporters are. They're from the AP. Because since we're talking about immigration, Democrats can't use their $3.5 trillion package bolstering social and climate programs to give millions of immigrants a chance to become citizens. The Senate parliamentarian has ruled. The media complicity with the Democratic Party is so insane. They are going along with their lie and their bullshit. You see the framing of this article? Senate parliamentarian deals blow to Dems immigration push. Why are they framing it this way? They are framing it in the way that will give the Democratic Party a pass. Because the Senate parliamentarian has no power. The Senate parliamentarian is an aide to Chuck Schumer, who can be fired at any time, can be replaced at any time. The idea that you have this unelected bureaucrat, this Senate parliamentarian, that stops a $15 minimum wage and now is stopping immigration justice, beyond absurd. So why does this exist? Because Democrats need to find a way to boost up the prison industrial complex. They need to find a way to continue the crimes against humanity of the U.S. empire, but they have a brand to sell. Their brand is that they care about immigrants, they care about black people, they care about having a living wage, which a $15 minimum wage is not a living wage, by the way. But they say they care about these things, so they need to find scapegoats. Kristen Sinema is one of the scapegoats. Joe Manchin is one of the scapegoats. But when they don't come, whenever they can't use Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema as a scapegoat, they will use the Senate parliamentarian. It's insane how people still fall for this red-blue game. It's insane to me. Now, the article says, now, Watch them try and cover for the Democratic Party. The Democrats can't use the $3.5 trillion package bolstering social and climate programs for their plan to give millions of immigrants a chance to become citizens. The Senate parliamentarian said late Saturday, a crushing blow to what the party's clearest pathway in years to attaining the long-sought goal. Once again, why, if this, look at this. Look at this paragraph right here, the third paragraph down. The parliamentarian opinion is crucial. What? The parliamentarian opinion is crucial because it means the immigration provisions could not be included in the immense $3.5 trillion measure. Why are they pretending that the opinion actually means anything? You guys see how the media is complicit with selling the lies of the Democratic Party? They are purposely trying to mislead people to think that the Democratic Party are hopeless. Told you guys, the United States is the most propagandized country because the propaganda is the media going along with this nonsense. So I was saying, it's going to be very interesting to see progressives try to sell the idea that we should vote for the Democratic Party after this again. Because they were going to say, oh, you got to vote for, give us a bigger majority so we can actually get stuff done. That's what they're going to say. But it's still, but you guys are using the Senate parliamentarian as a reason to pass stuff. So what's stopping them from doing that in 2022? Even if they increase the majority, nothing. It's a grift, and they got people wrapped around their finger falling for this. It literally doesn't matter what happens in 2022 in terms of the Democratic Party agenda. If the Democrats hold seats or they gain seats, you're still not going to see anything done for them. And I am so bold to claim that even if you lift the filibuster, even if you got rid of the filibuster, you're still not going to see change. What? How dare I say that? Because that's what a lot of people believe. A lot of people believe if you got rid of the filibuster so things can pass the Senate with a simple majority, things will change. I just explained to you guys the concept of the rotating villain. Kristen Sinema was for a minimum wage increase in 2014. She tweeted about it. Then the Democratic Party needed her to be against the minimum wage increase. So then she voted against it. It's that simple. It's that simple. So if the Democrats need enough senators to block a bill that they don't want to get done, they will find those votes. Even if you got rid of the filibuster, they will get even more conservative Democrats. You have more centrist Democrats that will shift to the right so they don't have the votes they need. This is how they are playing you. This is how they're playing you. They will just change the way they vote. So, if you think the filibuster is going to change things, it's not going to happen. If you guys don't think I'm telling the truth, if you're still hesitant in what I'm saying to you, think about when the last time that the filibuster stopped the establishment from doing something that they really want done. Did the filibuster stop corporate bailouts? Did the filibuster stop endless wars? Did this stop the expansion of the police state and ICE budgets? No. Anything that the ruling class wants done, they can get done. The Senate filibuster is not stopping that. It's not stopping the expansion of offshore drilling. It's not. So, sorry to burst your bubble for the people who still believe in electoral politics. But things are not going to change through electoral politics. There's another reason why. Let's get into some comments. Ramsey said Trump gave $1,800. Biden gave $1,400. He talking about in relief money during the pandemic. And that's a damning fact that the Democratic Party will not be able to get away from. They won't be able to get away from the fact that Donald Trump can easily say he gave more money to people in the pandemic than Joe Biden. Joe Biden was cutting unemployment benefits. It wasn't Trump that did that. It was Biden that did that. Biden is working on behalf of his donors to squeeze the working class and force them to go back to work so they can continue to work for starvation wages. That's the goal of him cutting unemployment benefits instead of expanding it. If you had a working class president, a president that cared about the working class, they would extend the unemployment and give more money to people during the unemployment crisis. Because if they gave people more money during this crisis, that means employers will be forced to pay their workers more. But the Democratic Party do not want to do that. The Democratic Party wants to keep starvation wages. So they are cutting unemployment benefits, which robs workers of their only leverage when negotiating right now. So if we had high unemployment benefits, our workers are like, why would I work for $15 minimum wage? Why would I work for a $15 wage if I was making more on unemployment benefits? And then that'll give them negotiation power. That's a way that you can use your electoral power to increase the wages of workers. But the Democratic Party won't do that. So remember, it was Biden that did that. It was Biden that undercut the negotiations of the workers. Don't get it twisted, because if Donald Trump was reelected, he would have did the same thing. My point is that they are just the same. It's the same thing. Jay on YouTube, Jay Castor, said Trump was the lesser of two evils. Now, I don't believe in the lesser of two evils if I'm going to be intellectually consistent. But you have Joe Biden doing the exact same thing Donald Trump. I covered multiple times on my show, the same exact foreign policy. He negotiated in Iran exactly like Donald Trump. He funded the genocide in Israel just like Donald Trump. He, went to overthrow Venezuela just like Donald Trump. He denied you health care just like Donald Trump. He is ramping up ICE just like Donald Trump. So Biden is doing the same thing that Donald Trump is doing, but without media resistance, without liberal resistance. So in that case, wouldn't it be better to have Trump? So we have Trump, we at least will have opposition. We will have immediate opposition, and we have more people shift to the left. A lot of people shifted to the left when Trump was in charge. A lot of people became in favor of Medicare for all. A lot of people became in favor of immigration justice. A lot of people was talking about police violence. But then Joe Biden got in charge, and all the protests that started under Donald Trump, the massive summer protest, was killed by the Biden administration. This is the danger of the Democratic Party and why I would never support them. Because the Democratic Party is where movements go to die. The same way that Barack Obama killed the anti-war movement, and the same way that Barack Obama killed the Occupy Wall Street movement, you have Joe Biden kill the Me Too movement, and he killed the immigration justice movement. It's not Republicans that are a threat. Republicans are intellectual lightweights. Conservatives are intellectual lightweights who we always defeat. Whether you guys believe it or not, when it comes to social movements, conservatives always lose. The biggest obstacle towards change and the biggest threat that we have to deal with is the neoliberal establishment. It's the white liberal moderate that our revolutionary leaders was telling us about. The white moderates are exactly who MLK was warning us about. They're exactly who Malcolm X was warning us about. The white liberal moderate is what stops social changes, not conservatives. So it makes no sense to have Trump derangement syndrome. It makes no sense to have Republican derangement syndrome when it's the Democratic Party that is denying you justice. It was Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden that stopped you from having Medicare for all, not Donald Trump. It was the Democratic Party establishment that defeated Bernie, not Donald Trump. You guys like that rant, but that rant would get me in trouble with shit libs. Because this is what I was trying to tell people, but then John Legend ratioed me to death. You guys don't believe me? I shared this on my stream before, but I may have new viewers. Let me show you guys this. Oh, Jesus. Here you go. This is what I tweeted last summer, and shit libs did not like it. I gotta find a way to increase. I know that's hard to see, isn't it? I gotta find a way to make this easier to see. Can you guys read that? I don't know if you guys can read it, but I'll read it to you guys. I gotta figure out how to fix that. Ever since I switched to this new format, it's been hard. I can read it, but I think it's harder for you guys to read the text on here, right? But this is what I said, and this was probably my worst ratio I ever got. I got a lot of likes, but the liberals were not happy about this, and John Legend helped give me ratio to death because I said August 28, 2020, Joe Biden losing to Trump will mark the death blow to neoliberalism. It will mark the death blow to neoliberalism. Barack Obama, meaning Barack Obama and his allies and people he endorsed, would be 0-2 against Trump. His credibility and legacy ruined. People will be so disgusted by the Democratic Party, who lost to Trump twice, that the establishment will drown and leftists will rise. You have people say, "Oh, centrists can't be fucking the extreme right anymore," and people will shift left because the centrists are already using the fact that Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump against progressives, like I predicted. Because they were saying, "Why will you support a far leftist? Because leftists can't beat Trump. I beat Trump." And they're going to run with that message in 2022, 2024, and pretty much for the rest of our lives. Which show another reason why electoral politics is a dead end now, especially after Biden beat Trump. But I continue. This is the one that really got me in trouble. I said, Biden winning may be better for the very short term. But Trump defeating Biden is objectively better for the progressive movement long term. Biden winning emboldens neoliberalism and crushes the left. Once again, people got really upset with me at saying that. But in hindsight, where was I wrong? Right now, neoliberalism is stronger than it's ever been. Stronger than it's ever been. The left has been crushed and neutered to the point where even the corporate media is laughing at progressives and their weakness against the Biden administration. And the fact that we are getting nothing. We're not getting a public option, which is trash anyway, but we're not giving a living wage. I said his last name. A living wage. Thank you for the super chat, Seth. I'll read that in a second here. We're not getting anything. The left is crushed. And neoliberalism has been emboldened. Exactly like I said would happen. Exactly what I said would happen. Now, if Trump won, if you still believe in electoral politics, we will have a primary in 2024 where if possible that progressive could have won, especially considering that in this hypothetical scenario, a neoliberal would have lost to Donald Trump twice. But now, on the other hand, once again, if you still believe in electoral politics, now that Biden won, you are not primarying Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The people who think the Democratic Party will allow progressives to primary them, beyond delusional. Beyond delusional. So under your hypothetical, on what you guys wanted, you guys want 8 years of Joe Biden, possibly 8 years of Kamala Harris. Instead, if Trump won, we could have got rid of him in 4 years and got another progressive. You see how Trump derangement syndrome stopped people from thinking in the long term? In the long term, it made no sense for progressives to support Joe Biden. And now people are starting to realize that. Now we have literally slave patrols on the border right now. Right? So that was one of my takes that aged perfectly well. Thank you for the super chat, Seth. What do you say to Trumper shouting, "Why did no court even look at voter fraud evidence? Their source is New American." So that's a Trump. I think you were talking about how Trump supporters always deny the election results. Once again, this is a very partisan issue because remember in 2016 when Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump, they created an entire international conspiracy theory to explain how Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump. That's Russiagate. They created Russiagate to deflect from the fact that they lost to Donald Trump, and they were still in denial. They were saying that Russia stole the election from Hillary Clinton. So I always laugh to myself, and I always ponder the question: who handled their loss worse? Did Hillary Clinton fans handle the loss to Donald Trump worse, or did Donald Trump fans reacted worse to losing to Joe Biden? Either way, we have two political cults who could not wrap their mind around losing. And both their meltdowns have been hilarious to witness. And that shows why partisanship is a disease. Because when I see the Trumpers who say the election was stolen from them, I don't believe they believe that. I think they're just saying that because they got to continue to rep for their own team. So partisanship in the red blue game steals the integrity from people. And so their team can win. And I wholeheartedly reject it, and that makes my skin crawl. So I ask you guys, what do you think? Which meltdown do you think is worse? The meltdown that the Hillary Clinton fans had, or Trump fans had when they lost? Yep, James said they are nuts. They are big baby losers. Yep. So let's see. I think that wraps up the immigration story, right? I got a few more stories, but I think I cover those later in the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys did enjoy the stream, please support my channel. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get to 4K, 4,000 subscribers on this channel by end of November. I'll put that as a goal. But if you want to support the Patreon that I have shown there, that helps out a lot. Excuse me. Any donation to Cash App, Social CMA, Venmo, Social CMA as well. Those can be small donations like $5, $10. That helps out a lot, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy the stream. Tomorrow we will be doing another foreign policy panel that I will believe will be on Kareem Batesh's channel on BetBeat. But we're gonna have a foreign policy conversation. Can't wait to talk to my friend Josiah Vast again. Wednesday on Fred Hampton Leftist, I'm going to talk to my friend CJ. CJ has been doing an amazing job promoting, preparing, and putting together the General Strike Summit for Fred Hampton Leftists. So we are going to have a conversation on Wednesday, and we can brainstorm some ideas live on the General Strike Summit. So make sure you check me out on Wednesday with CJ. Tuesday is usually my Fred Hampton Leftist day. So I will talk about a lot of foreign policy and state violence on Fred Hampton Leftist channel. But on Wednesday, I can see myself streaming on this channel. At this point, I've been streaming about 3-4 times a week on this channel, and I'm going to try to keep that up. So once again, please support Cash App or Venmo, Social CMA if you like the stream. And Nolly, I definitely got to talk about that with you based on the last comment that you left. Yeah, well, man, it's hard. Told you. I see that, chat. Didi want me to have more button-down shirts. Donate to the cause and I get some more button-down shirts. And much love and big shout out to Nolly D and my friend William. Always showing support. Big shout out to Roxanne Marquez as well. Jane. These are just friends of the show. So what else I got to plug? So tomorrow, I do my Fred Hampton Leftist thing. I'll be with Kareem, Josana. Wednesday, the General Strike Summit discussion with CJ. On Thursday, you guys know we have our roundtable on Fred Hampton Leftist, where we have multiple guests. I wasn't on the last roundtable, but I think I should be on this roundtable. I think my schedule should permit for that. I wasn't able to make the last 2 roundtables because I did Jimmy Dore show last Thursday, and that had Jimmy on the day before that. So Thursday, check out the panel. Friday, Revolutionary Jargon, Killjoy Meg, host on Friday. Saturday, I know some people were asking me about Finney's show. She didn't upload for like the last 2 weeks, but she will be live with Josana, my good friend Josana Vass. And they were going to have a great conversation this Saturday. So the point is we upload every day on the Fred Hampton Leftist. I'll be on here. I think I'll be on this channel on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We see. But support the YouTube channel. Hit the bell. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the stream. Did I miss any chats? I think I'm good. Thank you guys for watching. Social Stand May. Sign out. Take care, guys.